You may have heard phrases before like the soft data is flashing warning signs with the economy, or that hard data is starting to improve or weaken. Knowing the difference between hard data and soft data is crucial for economic analysis. So in this video, I'm going to talk about three key characteristics of the differences between hard data and soft data so you can have a better understanding. So from the jump, soft data reflects expectations about the future, but it often moves ahead of the facts. And sometimes it can move in the wrong direction. On the flip side, hard data reflects what's actually happening, but it often lags behind real-time economic shifts. So it's a little bit of a back and forth that people do. You want to be looking at the soft data to get a sense of where the economy might be going, but then you also need to be checking back in with the hard data to make sure that the movements in the soft data isn't a head fake. So here we have this graphic where we have the woman with the crystal ball saying the stars say inflation will ease. Then you have the accountant looking figure on the right here that says actually CPI rose 0.4% last month. So there's often a difference between what you're seeing in soft data and what you're seeing in hard data. This is because soft data tends to be survey-based, it is sentiment-driven, and it is forward-looking. So there's a lot of, like the PMIs that we talk about often in our videos, those are actually soft data series. Those are surveys. They're not hard economic data facts. So the hard data, on the other hand, that's very quantitative. It's reported economic activity, and it is generally backward-looking. So when we get CPI data, that's generally for the previous month. When we get employment data, that's generally for the previous month. We're trying to make predictions based on what the hard data that comes out is going to be. We're looking at surveys or soft data to try to make those projections. And so that brings us to the three important points. But first, we're going to look at some samples or examples of hard data and soft data in these tables outside the three most important points. So hard data, you'll see a lot of series that you probably recognize. There's different metrics for inflation, like CPI or PPI. There's retail sales data. GDP is a hard data point. Personal income spending, housing starts. I didn't talk about the employment ones, but non-farm payrolls and unemployment rate, those are both hard data series. So there's hard data series that basically encompass all the different types of economic data that you could be looking for. And then on the flip side, we have the soft data. So again, as I said, that's a lot of the PMIs that we've talked about a lot on our channel. It's the consumer confidence series, NFIB Small Business Optimism, Philly Fed manufacturing, so the regional PMIs, and then the NAHB. So just like there's hard data series for every area of the economy, there's soft data series. Again, these are often surveys. So these organizations are reaching out to businesses, asking them questions, and indexes are created based on their answers. So the three important points and differences: soft data tends to be more volatile than hard data. Soft data tends to lead hard data. And finally, and importantly, soft data and hard data do diverge from time to time. So let's start with number one. Soft data tends to be more volatile than hard data. And so what does that mean? You generally see bigger swings in soft data. So if you look at this chart, a soft data composite index is in blue and a hard data composite index is in red. And you can see the axes, the left and right axes, they are the same. So you can see there are much bigger swings in the blue series than there are the red series. And this makes sense because, again, soft data is based more on emotions, where hard data is the actual stated economic fact. So ahead of time, if you're asking a small business how they're feeling, or different questions about how they're feeling, about their ability to attract talent, about what their sales are going to be, these are emotion, opinion-based questions. And that's why you can get wild swings. One, because people are wrong. People read things incorrectly. And two, people change their mind a lot, right? So you could have some months where everyone thinks sales are going to start, exploding in the future. And then if it just takes a month or two of that not happening, and people can quickly reverse course. So that's why you see these big swings. Whereas the hard data, you're actually reporting what's happening. Number two, soft data tends to lead hard data. So while soft data does have bigger swings, emotions eventually do affect real world decision-making processes. So here we have a soft data series in blue, the NFIB biggest problem. So again, the NFIB asks small businesses a bunch of questions on their optimism index. And one of them is, what is your biggest problem? And so the blue series is the amount or the percentage of respondents that say poor sales. And then we also have the unemployment rate. So that is a hard data series. The unemployment rate gets posted 1 month in arrears. And so we see here that the blue series is advanced 3 months on the hard data series. And so let's talk through this intuitively. So if a bunch of businesses are saying, I expect to have poor sales in the future, what are they going to do? They're going to slowly stop hiring. If the soft data series shows an expectation that sales are going to slow, you generally see the unemployment rate start to rise in response. And again, this makes sense. Put yourself in the shoes of a business owner. If you think your sales are going to do poorly, you're not going to be hiring people. And so if businesses stop hiring people because of the expectation that sales are going to decrease, then we should eventually see a rise in the unemployment rate. So just to recap, number one, the soft data series are more volatile. However, emotions do have real world impact when it comes to the decision-making processes of businesses. And then finally, the last key point, and this is very important, and this also makes analyzing these relationships somewhat tricky from time to time. And that's soft data and hard data do diverge from time to time. And these divergences are they're not always assigned to panic. So I have two examples here showing two different time periods. So we'll start here on the left. In the early 90s, soft data fell while hard data improved. So at the time, consumer confidence was low. However, consumer spending at that same time rose. So you saw this mismatch between consumer confidence, how consumers were feeling, than what they actually did with their wallets. So consumers were feeling poorly, but they still went out and spent. Then on the flip side, in the mid 2010s, we had the opposite thing happen with these two series. So the consumer confidence, the soft data series. So consumers are talking about how they're feeling. And then we have the consumer spending, the hard data series, how much money consumers are actually spending. Well, in the mid 2010s, the reverse happened. So the soft data series rose. Consumers were starting to feel better about the economy. However, that didn't turn into actual consumer spending. So there were divergences. And we've seen some divergences recently where for a long time, inflation expectations were through the roof. And they are still somewhat elevated. However, on the hard data side, while inflation has been elevated, it's been stickier than a lot of people expected, it didn't really ever come close to hitting the levels that people expected, right? So that's a more recent example about how all of the divergences are not always assigned to panic. Now, that's not to say that inflation could not reaccelerate up to expectations. However, as it stands right now, there's a little bit of a mismatch between the soft data series, which is inflation expectations, and the hard data series, actual inflation. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new, the differences between hard data and soft data. It's a simple but important concept to understand for economic analysis. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you here next Monday with another educational video.